I'm Mel Robbins. Welcome. I'm really excited. We are going to be going to Los Angeles to take a question on a topic that made me laugh out loud. I could not wait to talk to this woman. She has a question about consciously co-isolating with her ex. Ooh, I can't wait to hear the details of this one. But in case you're new, I'm Mel Robbins. I am the best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule. I also teach courses online about confidence and courage and unlocking the power inside of you. I am also the host of the daytime television show here in the United States. It's an advice talk show called The Mel Robbins Show. Very creative with the name there. And this live stream is where you can get coaching from me one-on-one. And the way that you do that, I know you're going to ask, so I might as well just tell you. Look right there. There is a text platform number. Just text that number. I will respond back with an auto reply. You opt in, and it is the fastest, easiest way to stay in touch with me. It's also how we find and source the folks that come on this for coaching. And so if you have a question, if you want advice, if you're really stuck or frustrated or whatever, and you've been thinking, my God, can I just talk to Mel about this? This is your shot. Text that number. I'm not selling your phone number. This is just how we get in touch with you. And then you become part of our texting community. Anyway, I cannot wait for this topic today. And so let's go to Los Angeles, where Melissa is standing by with a question about consciously co-isolating. Melissa, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
So consciously co-isolating with your ex, can you describe what that means exactly?
My ex and I have a daughter who's 8, and for the purposes of this shelter in place, we felt that it was best that we shelter in place in one place.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing, and that's why I'm here.
So can I just ask, whose idea was this?
So it was my idea.
Are you regretting it now?
Well, sometimes. His apartment is very, you have to go through probably 5 or 6 public doors, spaces to get to the actual apartment. And my house is like super private. All the entrances are only touched by the people that live here.
So it's the safest way for the 3 of you to be together as a family versus bringing your daughter back and forth or having her have to choose one place.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And how long have you guys been broken up?
7 months.
Oh, okay. So this is recent.
Yeah, it's really new.
Okay. And how's it going?
So it's going pretty well on the day-to-day. It's actually really nice to have another adult here. It's nice to feel like everyone is like safe and being safe and healthy together. So that part is great. And actually we have been getting along really well, on like a friend level. That part is going excellent.
So why the heck do you need my help? It sounds like you're winning at this consciously co-isolating with your ex.
Right. So I feel like the part that's difficult is that the division of labor when it comes to homeschooling and the division of labor when it comes to any sort of like household responsibilities is really challenging right now because all of that is on my plate. And it feels like I'm in like international waters. Like I have no jurisdiction here because
you do because it's your house.
Yes.
And so you do because the alternative is you can go back to your place because this isn't working. So you do have jurisdiction. And so the thing that I want to ask you is, what have you done to try to get on the same page about homeschooling and about the house chores with your ex?
So, as far as the homeschooling is concerned, the first thing I've done is just ask for help. I am not the world's most savvy student, and so I'm finding a lot of challenges becoming the teacher now. So he is a very good student, and I've tried to say, like, this is something that you are naturally very good at. I could really use your help or your input. The flattery is not working, so that is what I have tried.
So
and then,
can I ask a question? So I understand the nature of the behavior we're trying to manipulate here. When you say help with homeschooling and you have an 8-year-old, are you talking about making sure that from the moment she's awake till the moment that the school day ends, that there is coverage for what she needs to be doing and oversight? Is that what you're talking about?
it's that, and I'm currently the only one that gets up with her in the morning.
Why?
So I don't know. I haven't known for the entirety of the relationship.
Okay, so that was the problem before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so couple things about this. First of all, if you have a child with your ex and you have been broken up for 7 months, whatever patterns of behavior were there before are not going to change now. If anything, they're going to get worse because people feel so triggered emotionally, and whether it's anxiety or depression or malaise or just feeling like you're living in Groundhog Day and you're losing your grounding, whatever it is that wasn't working before is only going to be magnified. So I'm only saying that because I want to level set expectations.
Sure.
Second thing is you did the right thing, which is complimenting. But if that's not working and the positive approach isn't working, the only thing that works is being very specific about what you need help with. And so what I would do, if you haven't done this already, and I apologize if this is something you've already tried, but I think this is the only thing that would work, is you need to, since you're the one that cares more about this, and since you're the one that's running point on it, you need to come up with a schedule for the week that begins with when she wakes up all the way to when she goes to bed. And then you need to get granular on that schedule and say, this is the shift I need you to take. And this is what I need you to do during that shift. Because asking for help is a really good thing to do. It's certainly way better than you got to stop sleeping in and you got to do this, because the second you start telling him what he's doing wrong, he's going to get defensive and retreat. When you turn it around to, I need help, and here's the calendar for the week that I've created, the shaded blocks are the pieces that I need you to manage. And if you can't provide that kind of help, the tension and the resentment that's starting to build is not worth you being here. What are you thinking?
I'm excited to try this.
Well, the reason why is our partners and exes can't read our minds. And this is a whole new thing right now. And there are going to be days where you're both going to throw your hands in the air and say, I can't even do the school thing today. Please just turn on programming, let her park in front of the TV and enjoy herself. I'm out. I can't, I'm done. So the thing that I've noticed is that you need to ask for the help specifically. And so I would do all that work. I would say, this is what I'm proposing. Does this work for you? If not, what's your counter proposal? And then the second thing I would do is I would make sure every single Sunday night you get that calendar back out and you go through the week and you make sure it works. Because one of you might have a Zoom call that's coming up for something. And that falls right in the shaded piece that he agreed to 2 weeks ago. And unless you continually check in with each other about the schedule, it's going to lead to miscommunication and resentment. You got to constantly check back in and make sure, based on what's going on this week, does this still work? And if you need to opt out of this, where can I stick you back in? Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Do you think it'll work?
I do, because I think I am often not specific. So I do think that would be something that I could improve on for sure.
Well, and I think a lot of times, especially if you look at very stereotypical gender norms, a lot of dudes are like, I don't even know what the fuck you're asking me to do. Okay, I got up, I moved in here, I bust my dish to the sink, I went to the grocery store yesterday. Like, what do you mean I need to help? Like, I am helping in the way that I think about help. And so being super specific will transform absolutely everything. Other than the homeschooling, let's talk about the chores. What's bugging you the most?
Well, so I want to say he's like the only person doing the dishes, so that part is lovely. I don't have a dishwasher.
Great.
That's
you
wonderful.
do. Sleeping on the couch. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, but I think that everything else kind of falls on me. The cooking is sort of like I cook for myself and my daughter, and he cooks for himself.
Do you do that on purpose to punish him for not homeschooling her?
No,
okay.
I have to, it's like he'll cook lunch for himself, and then our daughter will say, like, I'm also hungry, and then I have to, like, do that.
So how do you want this to work?
I mean, I think that because we're all here, and then as I said, I feel like we're getting along really well. There's not a lot of, like, personal tension getting drudged up.
Great.
So I feel like, why can't we take turns making dinner every night? Or why can't we take turns?
I'll tell you what. You ready?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. You have expectations in your mind you're not communicating. And a lot of us have a problem with hinting and wishing, but not requesting. And when you roll into the fact that most of us don't even know what the heck day it is. And I don't even remember what we cooked last night. Like, I am so turned around despite my routine that my schedule is keeping me alive, no joke. And so every single night at dinner, our family sits down for dinner. And one of the things that we ask is, okay, what is it that people need help with tomorrow? What do you have coming up tomorrow? How can I support you? What do you need? What I would highly recommend is when you do that schedule, that you also bake in who's cooking lunch and who's cooking dinner. And that's it. And then at night at dinner, if you're eating as the three of you, just check in about tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow? Tomorrow you're on deck for lunch. I'm on deck for dinner. Anybody have any requests? Anybody got anything pop up that you need support on? And if you do it and manage it with a weekly schedule and those little check-ins and specific requests, you will remove all of this stuff that is created from having expectations and wishes that you hint at instead of communicating. Because when you put it down on a piece of paper and he looks at it and he goes, I got to cook dinner 4 times this week? I'm not as good of a cook as you. What? And then you're like, well, if you don't want to do that, why don't you go to the grocery store? Or why don't we do this? Or why don't we? When you see it on paper, you can problem solve together instead of doing these negotiations in the moment that are driven by the, oh my God, it's 5 and I got to cook dinner and you didn't even make us lunch and now I'm exhausted. Does that sound familiar?
It does. Yes.
What are you getting from this conversation?
I mean, I think this is really, to me, it feels really empowering because it feels like the solves are in my court and I'm not like being held hostage. by a person who's doing the dishes sometimes. But so that part feels great. And I think I'm excited to sort of try that and see what happens.
Yeah. And, it's super easy. Just go to your calendar on your computer and print out a blank one for the week and just write it together with a pencil, and you drive this whole thing, and then sit down and work through it. And the thing is that you shouldn't be grateful that he's doing dishes. He should be grateful that you've opened up your home so that the three of you can shelter together. And without specific instruction, when people are guests in your home, they don't know what to do to help. Mm. And so having a specific schedule that he can weigh in on and then co-create with you, and that's flexible so that as things come up, you work together so you both get the support you need, that will help you tremendously with communication while you consciously co-isolate with your ex. And I got news for you. Married couples and couples that are dating and still together are having these exact same issues. And the reason why I know these tools work is that even though Chris and I have been married for, it'll be 24 years this year, this is such a new situation and so taxing emotionally and psychologically that having these kind of tools take the emotion out of it, because instead of us going like this at each other, we're now focusing on a piece of paper together and talking through it. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So will you let me know how it goes?
I sure will. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited. It was such a great question. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. I mean, unless you can get an 8-year-old off the couch 24 hours a day, but I think that's,
You know what? What I would rather do is get the guilt off your back, because you're doing the best that you can, and you have an 8-year-old, and you are not expected to be an expert at this. And there are going to be some days where you're energized and you've got an activity planned, and there are going to be other days where you're just like, I just can't even. As long as she's not drowning in the toilet or screaming, we're good here. We're good
yes.
here. Here's the thing I want you to understand. Your daughter will not remember the specifics about what happened during this period of time, but she will remember how she felt being in the house. And if you're taking the guilt and the pressure off your shoulders, and you're giving yourself room to have good days and bad days and rockin' days as a mom and I'm out as a mom days, she will remember a calm and grounded experience. Me personally, I went upstairs for the first time to my 15-year-old son's room. I opened up the door because I kept yelling at him that dinner was ready. And there was so much shit on the floor. Every blanket from the bed, every pillow on the bed, everything he's worn for the last 2 weeks. The bottom sheet on the mattress was half pulled off, and so the mattress was kind of bare. He had Cheetos bags on the bed. He had empty glass. Like, I now know where all the glasses were because there were 8 of them in his room. It smelled like a mix of dirty socks and a locker room and Axe. And I cranked open the door. And I thought, I was so triggered because I thought, you've got to clean. And then I thought, what am I doing? What do I care? We're in a freaking pandemic. If this kid is happy living in this hovel, the fuck do I care? And I said, dude, dinner's ready. Come on down. And I shut the door. That's it. I figure when he's tired of turning his underwear inside out or whatever it is he's doing to manage his laundry, because I'm not sure when he's done it last, he'll ask for help. But if you're calm and not pounding yourself to be having arts and crafts scheduled and this scheduled and the things scheduled and virtual play dates this and this thing that, I mean, keep in mind, you're not working from home. You're quarantined in a pandemic, trying to get work done and trying to keep your house peaceful.
Yeah.
So take the guilt off, let her sit on the couch. She will be just fine. And if you're calm and happy and you and your ex are supporting each other, it'll be an awesome experience for all of you.
Yeah.
Got
Thank
it?
you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. It was an awesome question. Thank Melissa from LA, and we wish her and her ex a lot of luck. I love that. Consciously co-isolating. I think we're all consciously co-isolating, aren't we? We've chosen the people that we're isolating with, and now we're just trying to muddle our way through it. If you have a question, if there's any area in your life where you feel stuck or where you just want to talk through it, or any way in which that I or my team can help, the best way to reach us, the text number right down there below. Send us a text. You'll get an autoresponder. You got to opt into our free texting community. We will not sell your number. We will not, spam you with anything. We're not selling anything. This is how we communicate directly with people, and it's how we book you to get one-on-one coaching with me, which is the only way that you can do it on these videos. I want to thank you for tuning in, because this project of coaching you and talking to you every weekday has given me a tremendous sense of purpose. And it has also allowed me to focus on something super meaningful to me, which means I am not riding my family night and day about all the little details. It's made me much more relaxed, much happier. And so I can't tell you how much I appreciate being able to talk to you every day. In case nobody tells you, I'm going to tell you, I love you. I believe in you. We're going to get through this. This is temporary. So if you're safe and you're healthy, please do not miss the opportunity in this moment. Please take the guilt off your back. Please tune inward. Please get specific about asking for what you need and checking in with yourself and your loved ones every day to update that request. And practice all the skills we're talking about, the stuff they don't teach you in school, the self-awareness, the emotional resilience, the ability to stay grounded, even when you're facing something uncomfortable and uncertain. Those are the kind of skills that will carry you through the rest of your life. And this is a moment in time when you can really slow down and practice building those skills. And I'll be here to help. So that's it. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.